These are the account and campaign settings that you need to have right in your Google Ads account. Otherwise, you could be wasting money. And the worst thing is that you may not even know that these settings exist. So you don't know that you are even wasting money. Now, over the past couple of years, Google has made many updates, which has made setting up a Google Ads campaign a very, very easy process. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I applaud Google for making it easier for people to be able to set up a Google Ads campaign. However, the problem is that as Google has been making these updates, it's also been hiding some really important account and campaign settings and causing them to be an auto or by default setting. Now, Google's justification for this is that they have data which shows that campaigns and accounts that have these settings perform better. The problem being is that is heavily swayed towards large companies that are spending a lot of money. And the difference between a business which is running a six-figure multiple budget inside of Google Ads every single month is that they're able to collect a lot of data much, much quicker, which means that these by default automated settings don't affect them as much. Where the problem really arises is for small and medium-sized businesses who have a smaller budget. These by default or automated settings can actually cause a lot of trouble for your account because you just don't have the spend in order to overcome their shortcomings. So what I want to do in this video is I want to take you through the important settings, and we're going to be going through 6 core settings that you need to get right in your Google Ads campaign in order to see success and so that you're not wasting any money. All right, and let's get into the big one, which is automatically applied recommendations, or AAR. If you've ever gone inside your Google Ads account, you'll see that Google will pop up different recommendations for you. But what some people don't realize is that there is also a bunch of recommendations which Google will apply automatically. So they'll go in and make changes to your account automatically, and this is actually an opt-out option. So you're automatically opted in and you need to opt out, otherwise Google will be taking control of these changes. And this ranges from smaller changes like adding in new keywords to split testing some of your ad copies, all the way up to the really, really important ones, which is adjusting your target CPA or adjusting your target ROAS, or even automatically switching your campaigns over to a smart bidding strategy. And if you don't have the right amount of data and you haven't set these campaigns up correctly, these changes can make a really massive difference to the performance of your campaign. And I want this video to be as practical as possible. So let's jump into a screen share so I can show you where these settings are and how you can turn them off. All right, so when you're inside your Google Ads account, where you need to go to is you need to go into the recommendations tab. Now, the one thing that I really do want to stress is that when you're in the recommendations tab, you need to make sure you've got these filters correct. Is that you're seeing all campaigns and that you're seeing the view all campaigns in this view. Because if you don't do that, you'll notice very quickly that this little button here has gone away, which is the one that we need. So I'll just go through to view all campaigns, and you can see here that this is the auto reply tag. Now, when you're in this auto apply tag, now this is an account which we have just taken on and we're undergoing our initial audit, and we can see through here they've still got on some of these automatically applied recommendations. Some of the bigger ones, as I said, is that essentially the previous agency who was marketing this account, they've given full control over the target CPA and the target ROAS to Google. Now, Google argue once again that they've got the most data, but once again, because this is not a high spending account, they've actually seen performance drop once Google has added in this target ROAS or target CPA. So that's why we're switching that off. And I'm also going to go through and switch off these other ones from here. So the main thing I'd say is that you want to go through and just make sure that you've got those auto apply recommendations switched off. By turning these off, it does not mean that you will no longer get recommendations inside of the Google Ads dashboard. It just means that these won't be automatically applied, so you can go through and review them to see if they make sense for your business. Okay, now let's get into the second big setting that you need to make sure that you've got set correctly inside of your Google Ads account, and this has to do with your search campaigns. And there's 2 core settings, once again, that you need to make sure that you have opted out of, because Google will automatically opt you into these settings. And that's when you've set up a new search campaign, or if you've got an existing search campaign, I want you to check that these are turned off, is that Google will automatically get you into what it calls its display expansion. And then it'll also heavily recommend that you use only broad match keywords. So let's firstly break these 2 down. Firstly, with the display expansion, what this is actually doing is that if there's any remainder budget left over, Google will push that spend out to the display network. Now, I'm not against people running display ads. In fact, I think the display network is a great network that you should be marketing on as part of your total Google Ads strategy. But if you're going to be running display or image-based ads, you need to have a specific campaign for them. Because what happens with this display expansion is that Google just converts your image-based ads into text display ads, or it will grab any assets that it has from your account to create display ads, and then it'll run them through all of the different placements. The problem being is that you don't have any control over the ad copy, and you also don't have any control over the placements. So for best results with the display marketing, if you're going to run display, set up your own display campaign and turn off this feature. And then secondly, for the broad match or only using broad match keywords, I do recommend that you use broad match keywords inside of a search campaign, but they need to be done in the right way. The first thing is that rather than just running all of your keywords as broad match, you want to just be having 1 or 2 core broad match keywords. And ideally, these broad match phrases have 3, ideally 4 or 5 different words in them, because Google is going to be targeting the meaning of that phrase. So you want to make sure that you're giving Google as much context as possible. So once again, so that you know exactly what I'm talking about and how to check your account and turn off these features, let's jump into a screen share so I can show you where to go. All right, for this one, you need to go into a search campaign and go into your campaign settings. And when you're in here, you need to be looking at 2 things. Now, for this one, we've already opted out of display network, but many of the times you will see that this is automatically opted in. So where you're going to is you're going into networks, and then you are turning this off. So make sure that that is ticked off. Now, for the broad match keywords, what you want to do is to go into this broad match keyword section, and you just once again make sure that this is turned off and not turned on. Now, the third setting that you need to get right inside of your Google Ads account and your Google Ads campaigns is your account-wide negative keywords and also your campaign-specific keywords. Now, when it comes to your account-wide negative keywords, this is going to be especially important for your Performance Max campaigns. Now, at the time of recording of this video, Google is in the process of rolling out the ability for you to be able to add in negative keywords at the campaign level for Performance Max campaigns, but not all accounts have that ability. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can run account-wide negative keywords so that it blocks out that wasted ad spend for your Performance Max campaigns. And then I'm also going to be taking you through brand exclusions and how to add them to your Performance Max campaign. Now, the reason for why this is so important is because the core functionality of a Performance Max campaign is that it looks to see what conversions you're having in your current account and then go through and find more conversions. So it's a campaign type that was created to generate more conversions for your business, which is great. We obviously want more conversions flowing into your business. The problem is that if you don't put the right limitations or the right blocks in place, it's going to go and try and find the easiest path of resistance. And what is the easiest way to get more conversions is to target branded traffic. So we want to block that off from our Performance Max campaigns so that it can do what we want it to do, is to find new customers and new leads coming into your business. And this is the process to add in those negative keywords. And let's firstly start with the account-wide negative keywords. So where you want to go into here is you want to go into your admin section and into your account settings. And you'll see this little part in here where you can add in negative keywords. And you can see from here that we started to build out some different negative keywords. And what we're really looking at doing here is, especially with these single word negative keywords, we're looking at taking out those search terms which we know just are not going to be relevant. So these are things like a coupon, discount codes, DIY, free, all of those broad-reaching themes that everyone will get, that we know these aren't people which are going to be buying our products or applying for our service. So this will be different for all different types of businesses. The only word of warning I do want to give here is that what we're looking at with these negative keywords is that this is going to be going across all of your different types of campaigns. So your search, shopping, app, and Performance Max campaigns. So what I'm really doing here is I'm really building it out into those core ones that we're looking at there. Once Google rolls out the campaign specific negative keywords for Performance Max campaigns, you'll be able to do it there. But obviously, as we've gone through many times in this channel, you can add extra negative keywords to your search campaigns and also your shopping campaigns. Now let's talk about brand exclusions for Performance Max. So the way that we go through and do this is obviously you need to go into your Performance Max campaign, go into the settings right here, and then you want to go into your additional settings and you want to be looking at your brand exclusions. You can see that we've added in a brand exclusion in here. If you don't have a brand list added in yet, what you need to do, click here, go through, add a new brand list, write in the brand name, and Google takes you through the steps of adding this. Sometimes it does take 2 or 3 weeks for this to be approved. It is getting faster, but that's the way that you go through and add in a branded exclusion Gen for your Performance Max campaigns. All right, now I want to take you through an important setting that you need to get right for your Demand Gen and your Performance Max campaigns. So the next two are going to be specific to these two types of campaigns. And even if you're not using these two types of campaigns yet, you really do need to pay attention to make sure that you're getting these right when you are ready or when you do want to introduce either a Demand Gen or a Performance Max campaign into your account. And the first one is all about Performance Max campaigns. And I'm really strong on with the Performance Max campaign, you want to set it to only target new customers. So when you're setting up a Performance Max campaign, you have the option to either bid for new and existing customers, or you can set it to bidding for new customers only. And the reason for why I really recommend that you set it to only bid for new customers only is, once again, going back to some of my previous comments. Google Ads, when they set up Performance Max, they created it in order to generate more conversions for your business. So that's why for me, Performance Max is a secondary campaign. We first want to have search and shopping running, or just search only. And then we want to put Performance Max over the top. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that our search campaigns and our Performance Max campaigns aren't targeting the same keywords, the same users, the same audiences. So what we're doing from here is we're saying, Performance Max, go out and do what you were created to do, and that is to find new customers. Now, to explain this further, let's go through and Ask AI Aaron, which is a tool which I've just released, which allows you to call or text me anytime with your Google Ads questions. Let's check it out. Okay, so with AI Aaron, there's two options that you've got here, is that you can firstly do a text, or you can actually do a voice call. But in this case, we're going to go through and do a text so you can see what is happening here. And let's ask a question. And we're asking, why should I set Performance Max to only bid for new customers? Let's press enter here. And just like that, you can see that you've got the exact answer that which you need, which is we want to avoid overlap with other campaigns. We want to drive that incremental growth, so looking at new customers. The main thing is we want to prevent that brand cannibalization where it's just targeting search terms which you know already convert. And the great thing about AI Aaron here is you can also see that it's got all the different citations, so you can see where it is getting that data from. Now, if you like the look of AI Aaron and you'd like to find out some more information, where I want you to go to is Define Digital Academy, AI Aaron. And what you can actually see, you can see some extra information, and you can also see an example of how you can use Aaron AI and get access to this amazing tool for Google Ads. So if you'd like to find out more about AI Aaron and how you can access this service, just go to this URL, definedigitalacademy.com/AI/Aaron. Now, the next setting, which is number 5 that you need to get right, is all about turning off optimized targeting for your Demand Gen campaigns. Now, the reason for why you want to do this is because one of the main parts that I love about a Demand Gen campaign is that you've got a lot more optimized targeting. So you can target specific video content or image content to specific audiences. But if you turn on optimized targeting, you're basically stripping away the main benefit of a Demand Gen campaign, and it turns all of those audience insights which you have fed into your Demand Gen campaign, and it turns them to a signal. There's a big difference between targeting and a signal in Google Ads, and you may be familiar with the signal language, which is what a Performance Max campaign uses. And a signal is very much just a recommendation. It's very much you just giving Google a little bit of a, hey, maybe check this out. But Google goes beyond those suggestions. So that's why if you're using Demand Gen, make sure that you've turned off that optimized targeting. And it's quite an easy option to turn off. It's just in your settings. When you're in the campaign settings, you're basically just opting out of that option for optimized targeting in Demand Gen. And that now brings us to the 6th and final setting that you need to get right inside of your Google Ads campaign so that you're not wasting any money. And this has to do with your conversion settings. And now this is a little bit more technical, but what you want to be doing is you want to be making sure that you've got 2 core things in place. Firstly, you want to make sure whether it is best for your business to either be counting every goal or just one goal. And this comes down to whether you want to track if the same person converts multiple times. And if you don't want to track that, you just want to get the initial conversion, make sure that you have got the setting to 1. And I'll show you how we can do that very soon. The second thing is you really need to make a difference between your primary and your secondary goals. Now, some people will go through and add to cart, for example, as a primary goal, because their sort of thought there is that if they can kind of prime or build up the conversion actions, that it will then sort of trick the algorithm into giving them more traffic. If you're an e-commerce brand and you're only able to get people up to add to cart and not purchase, the problem is not with Google Ads. It's probably got something to do with your pricing, your checkout process, your imagery, your messaging on the page. You want to make sure that you're setting any primary goals to your final actions. And what I mean by that is that you want it to be an action that actually leads to a conversion or money into your account. So for e-commerce, that's the actual transaction or the purchase. For a lead generation, business, that is a phone call that goes for say 30 seconds or 60 seconds, or a form inquiry. So just make sure that you've got that set correctly. And just to remove any confusion, let's jump into a final screen share so I can show you these settings. Okay, to check these settings, we want to go into goals. And then when you're in goals, you want to go into the summary of your goals. Now, I find this a little bit easier to click on this button, which is view all conversion actions. And the first thing you want to be making sure is if you click on this goal through here, you want to be going through into your settings. And what you can see through here is this one is set to every conversion. What the difference is here is that if I was to go through, interact with this campaign, complete a conversion today, but then come back and do another conversion the next day, that would count as 2 conversions. Whereas if I change it over to 1, that would mean that that would only be converted as 1 conversion. Generally for an e-commerce, I'm okay for this to be on for every, but especially for lead generation, you want to make sure that you set this to 1. The reason for that is because you don't want to be going through and counting the same person as a lead who's filled out the same form inquiry 2 times or completed the phone call or whatever action multiple times. So make sure that you've got that set correctly. The second thing is that you want to make sure that you've got a distinction between your primary and your secondary goals. And essentially your primary goals are goals that are used for your bidding strategy. So if you were to go through and use a maximize conversion value or maximize conversion setting, it uses that data. Whereas for a secondary goal, it's recording that action, but it's not using it for its bidding. And that's somewhere you may want to track like an add to cart. So you may want to see how many people are adding to cart versus that are going through to a full conversion, but you don't want that to be used in your bidding. Thank you for joining me. And I do want you to go through and just check all of your campaign and account settings to make sure you've got them set up right for your Google Ads account. If you are running Demand Gen and Performance Max, and you really want to make sure that you understand the core differences between these 2 types of campaigns, I want you to go through and watch this video right here. Thank you again for joining me. My name is Aaron Young from Define Digital Academy. I look forward to seeing you in this video right now. See you later.